Current podcast.
Current podcast.
Current podcast. Find us everywhere you listen to podcasts. Now you get to see what it takes to create something for y'all to listen to and watch. I hope y'all appreciate it. Let's get it.
Curtis Smith, my father-in-law. I appreciate you coming on and taking your time and sharing your story.
Appreciate being here.
Of course. This is my first time having like a lengthy conversation with you, but yeah, we've been around each other a couple times with the family and all that.
Yeah.
The growing family, ever so growing.
Is your family originally from Los Angeles? Like your dad and your mom both from LA also?
My mother from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh,
my father,
shit.
he's from LA. And I think I only been in Louisiana, think about one time when I was like 10.
Does that make you a New Orleans Saint fan?
Nah.
I'm a New Orleans Saint fan. That's what I'm saying.
To me, people don't understand sports is sports. It's who won it. And then I go for you, you know. Other than that, I don't have a very good team. But back in my days, the Lakers was the bomb. So
That's still the team you fuck with.
back then, Magic and all them,
Right.
on Showtime. But today's games, it's all about money.
But you remember the Lakers when you was like a kid and there was like mostly white, maybe two black players, right? Like
Yeah, it was
Jerry
mostly-
West and Gail Goodrich and shit like
When
that.
Jerry West came in, I think he the one wanted more flavor. So I think it started happening then because I think
Elgin Baylor.
Elgin Baylor came into the pocket. Then
You
it got
remember watching
Kareem.
those games?
Oh yeah,
What?
I used to always watch every game the Lakers played at the Forum.
Uh-huh.
Other than that, I never went to a game.
How much was a game back then?
Well, I think about it was about $10 a seat or something like that. Even those bleeds was cheaper, but to us it was still money.
Yeah, no,
Right.
for sure. Back then,
I mean,
70s,
yeah, the inflation's a motherfucker, right? You've seen the dollar go from like what it is now to what it
A
was.
dollar is not really nothing, but
paper.
you can just throw it away. But if you put it together and add it, it makes more. So
Right.
I have a question. You say your dad's originally from LA, like he was born in LA, type of thing. Have you, Trevor, gone as far as to trace where your grandparents came from, or they were also native to LA as well?
my grandfather, he was a native. He was what you want to call a mason. He was a top mason guy, and he was very respected. In the community.
So you would travel a lot?
Yeah,
type
when
of thing?
I met him, that's when I realized, a person with all that, stature of him, even how he looks, it makes you I want to be like that,
Oh,
and
shit.
people always wondered, why I was so how I was, because I had everybody around me who loved me, parents too. I had both my parents, and no one couldn't figure out what was up here.
Yeah.
Because while I was acting like I was acting, but other than that, I realized today my action was everything above life that can come at you, but it's how you handle it. And I was running from it, running from everything. I wasn't caring, wasn't doing nothing. And people said, hey, you had care. Your mama loved you. Your daddy loved you. your mama was always there. I was like, that ain't what I was looking for. I knew I had it.
How old were you when you started feeling like that? Like, do you remember how old that
When
was?
I heard my mother talking about buying me stuff, like shoes, and I heard her saying how hard it was, even on that back then welfare, and I was like, I got to do something for she can't spend money on me. So I started hustling, cutting grass, digging up people's trenches.
And that was like at how old? Like 10?
That was about 9, 8 years old.
Oh, shit.
My friend had a lawnmower, and every Saturday we'd get up, and go walk through the neighborhood with the leg and just make money until it get dark.
Oh,
Morning
shit.
to dark, just cutting lawns all through the neighborhood. We had our favorites, we had our specials, but that was a way to make money one way, to have something in your own pocket other than worrying about mama, give me this, give me that. People talking about, a loaf of bread.
So you became self-reliant on yourself real young, 9, 8 years old. You was like, yo, I'm going to do this shit. I'm going to do my own
I'm
thing.
going to do this for myself. I'm going to learn everything I need to learn, no matter if people say it's gay or whatever. My mama told me
They were saying that shit back then too?
Yeah, because I took up sewing, typing,
I need
Food
to learn how to sew
economics.
from you then, because
baking, everything that the school can provide for me to learn.
you actually
I learned it.
you
Metal shop,
applied
wood
yourself.
shop. But all the tools I needed, and when I was getting older, those tools helped me today. You know, welding and drilling and messing with wood and fixing things, you know. And I was like, that was something that I really loved, you know, doing things to fix, to cook, and I could do it for myself. You know, I say it to this day, really, I don't need no one but just God, you know, because he is the one got me sitting here today.
Right.
He's the one got me. You know, y'all know I can feel it in my voice, you know.
Right.
Because that's
you recognize that now. Like
that's a sore subject on me, excuse me. And that's a sore subject on me. But other than that, only thing keeping me going now is your kids, my grandkids.
Right.
All of them, not just those three.
Yeah, you got other grandkids.
All of them. I got 13
sons,
of them.
You're right.
You know, and they're all in my head every day in my dreams, you know. And I don't want none of them to have the life that I had. Then people think it's not nothing because of attitude and disrespect and no care. If you don't have that,
so you were like 8, 9 years old, realizing I need to be respectful. I need to be somebody, a stand-up kid.
everywhere my parents took me, I was always this person who ate proper, who set the table proper, who cleaned up behind myself. You know, anything that I need to do for me, I did it for myself. And it was like, oh, look at him. He's only 7, he's 6, he's washing this. And no one told me to do it. It was just...
You had that instinct to just do
what
it.
you have to do to get through life. Because if you wait on somebody, you gonna keep waiting. And I tell that person in a minute, you can come to my house 24 hours a day, and you come off and then you can say, damn, I'm thirsty. I wish I had something to drink. I ain't gonna move. Until you say, hey, do you have a glass of water, something to drink? You know where it's at. Go get it. You ain't gotta ask me. You know, just feel welcome. When I don't feel welcome places, I don't go places.
Right.
But other than me coming up in this world today, all I see is disrespect, no care. And it's so funny that people don't understand what that word really means. Because to us back in those days, it was like I told you earlier, it didn't matter what color you wore, it didn't matter how you looked. It was the disrespect. You know, the 3 feet or the dozen plan, you know. Other than that,
What's the dozen plan? What is that?
The dozen plan is when you talk about a person's mother. You know, you can talk about
Man, you know what they be saying now? Like that dude 6ix9ine. I don't know if you heard that rapper kid, the 6ix9ine, Tekashi 6ix9ine. It was some
basically
rapper kid. And he was saying some shit. He blew up a few years ago, and he would say like shit that I'm like, if these kids are starting to mimic him. Oh, bro, the respect's out the window. Because you say like, fuck your mom, suck my dick, all that type of shit, like, and just like trying to provoke people. You know what I'm saying? And like, you right, man. The respect factor is
those are ones with the disrespect. And my way of a person learning disrespect is, you know, how I look at today. I look at it as, and I raise half of my kids that way. Take much shit as you can. If you can't figure out how to get out of that shit, you better figure out something. Quit crying about it, figure it out. Because if you stay in it, it's gonna be longer motion time to anything. My mostly whole thing about life is, like I keep saying, that is a big issue with me of what I see today. I seen a guy today, and I was in your yard, and I was like looking over the gate. And I could have sworn he was gonna help the lady, you know, because he's running to go help her. He ran right past her.
oh shit.
So I was like, that is so cold.
Right.
You know, that she dropped her stuff in the street and he ran right past her. And to myself again, I said, disrespect, no respect. You know, and I was like, what's wrong with the world today and stuff? And then I just try to keep my mind on what's ahead of me. Because my journey is not over with yet, and it's been a long journey. To see what I see today are the people who dealing with something in their mind because of how they came up in life.
Right. Which is a lot.
A lot. Because everybody
reasons.
goes through something in life, and they got to find somebody to blame to make themselves feel like it's the victim.
Right.
You know, life, we all a victim in life. It's just when we target, that's when it all happens. You know, because we can walk down the street, we ain't a victim until we target. And then we that victim, but you walk on top, I'm a victim, ain't nobody targeting you, but you want to assume that because of how you think
and how you are.
I don't know what to do with you.
Right.
You know.
And then Curtis, where did you start, like, from mowing lawns to like getting to like the street shit that you were doing? Like, how did you immediately involve in that, or did you see friends that were like shading the streets?
No, because like I said, I came from a family of 5 brothers. My 2 oldest brothers, I didn't follow them. It was the respect of those are my brothers. So I couldn't go left and leave them going the other way. So my turn was to see what they doing and make it better. You know, all right, they wanted to sit out here and do things the open way. Let's hide it, you know, for Popo. We know what we doing, let's hide it. But, you know, other than that, the old people taught me how to sit around here and realize what life is. When you're going through life, it's your choice of what you're doing. The hardest person who passed away on me, his name was Michael LeBlanc. They called him Salty.
How old were you when he passed away?
I was only 14.
Fuck.
And he was in front of his house, you know, washing this lowrider, you know. Rival Game came through there.
How old was he?
He was about 18.
Okay.
And he was very, you know, respected, you know, in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I told you, when that happened, it was a black night in Compton.
Shit just started cracking.
I never seen so many killings and shootings.
Or retaliations
Over that one person. And it sticks to me to this day. I can't say the things I seen. I can't, you know, I don't even want to visualize it in my mind no more, because it was so, you know, intense of the things that I seen my brother doing, you know, and I was like, I can be hard, but I'm not gonna be that hard with no remorse, you know.
Heartless in a sense.
Yeah, they was heartless, but they was the kind of
it was a revenge factor with it.
Yeah. We don't F with you.
Don't fuck
you don't
with
F
us.
with us. But once you do, and people don't understand, we the ones took the name from them and braided to Nutty Block. Because after that night happened, we started going nutty. So next thing I know, I said to
so
my
that's
home,
where the name Nutty Block
came from.
started.
I was like, Reg, I said, man, we finna get nutty. And then my homeboy named Brian Harton said, let's call it Nutty Block. Before it is today, the way it is today, we didn't plan on it like anybody else to be the way it is. But yes,
it just evolves to something else.
It just evolved from everybody's different personalities,
right?
You know, and when you seen that, or when you heard the word Nutty Block in our neighborhood, because like I said, we was Wilmington Central, Alondra to Greenleaf. That was all our neighborhood.
That was your area.
Anything outside of each one of those walls, or each one outside of those, we surrounded by enemies. It was to the point, like I told you, it was so much in the middle of everybody who was against our neighborhood because of who we were. I always carried a concealed weapon.
Oh shit!
I had no choice.
At 14, 15.
Yeah, I had no choice. Every day, my brother would come and say, "Do you have what you have?" And I was like, "I don't want to, you know, like that." He said, "These people are crazy out here." And I was like, well, if that's what God wants, that's what God wants.
Right.
And I asked that question every day. Is that what God wanted? He never came to me and asked and gave me what I wanted until the day I said, I want to change. And it was so funny. The day I said, I want to change what I was doing or what I was seeing, that's the day I got shot.
Shut the fuck up, Curtis.
Because I let the
Are you serious?
homies
That
go.
switch happened that day, and
Yeah,
simultaneously.
I let the
That's
homies
how,
go.
I feel like that's how the devil be working. Like
Yeah.
when you be like, fuck the devil, I'm going to God's side. It's like the devil starts attacking you, and he gonna try to take you out immediately. Cause now you not.
Immediately he's trying to get me. So how it first happened.
I've known you for so long. And
How
I
it
didn't
first happened was he let me pass. I was working at McDonald's. I was in Bloodhood. Like I said, it doesn't matter what I was or where I respected wherever I was with.
Right.
Wherever I was with. My grandfather lived in Bloodhood. All the Bloods knew me. They knew where I was from, but I gave respect, so I had that pass. No matter, and people always ask me, why you can go over there? Why you can do that? I said, because I don't go over there with disrespect. I'm who I am, and I'm not going to change that. My grandfather lived there. We'll move around. I'm not going to hide or nothing because this man, I'm not scared of no man.
Right.
Only person I'm scared of at this point is God because he's the one you never know what's going to get you. Even when you're doing good, I tell everybody, these little stubborn kids, I wish I was there. My kids used to say that shit. I said, I'm gonna tell you one thing about that.
I wish I was there.
God hear what you saying. You wish you was there. I said, he ain't gonna take you now.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna wait until you got something, until you say, God, I don't wanna go. Because that's what I was laying there saying. I don't wanna go. I don't wanna go. You know?
Right.
And for long, you know, at that time, I wish I was dead. You know, well, I'm talking, you know, to my parents of just respect.
Right.
And I told you about that time. When I started disrespecting my parents, that's when things started coming at me. Every day for years. I never had ID. I always walked in the store, got me a 40 ounce, came in front of the store, popped it, opened, drunk it. Looked around and said, what I'm gonna do today? Walked off, nothing.
You would do that every day?
Every day for years.
From like 75 to
One night,
fucking-
me and my father got into it. It wasn't no swinging and nothing. Cussed him out, talking, you know, boo,
Right.
blah, blah, like I had hair
Got
on my chest and shit,
disrespectful,
you know.
right.
Same thing. Walked to the store, went there, bought my beer, came out, opened it, looked down, police sitting right there, looking dead at me. And it was a beer. They could have pulled it out. They charged me with disrespecting them, drinking all them fucking, you know, trespassing.
Mm-hmm.
And this never happened until I did that one thing. I said, I know why it happened. I never do it again. Unless I'm protecting myself against family, because that happens in life too.
So before we get into that one, let's kind of go back to the story you're saying when you got shot. How old were you when you got shot?
Ooh, I was about 17, 18.
Damn, you were young then.
Yeah. And it was so funny. It was like a vivid thing to me because, like I said,
This once you've already chosen.
I told myself I'm gonna leave Reg, Lil B, and all those niggas alone because they was trouble.
Right.
So I'm gonna hang with some guys in the hood, but they gonna be student guys. They got A's, you know, the mama and them look up to them and stuff.
Right.
I never expect when I was hanging out with them was gonna happen. Because I didn't expect that out of them. I expect them to be down to back me. Yes, they got that heart for that.
Right.
But the part of acting stupid and, you know,
Putting yourself in
trouble's danger,
way. Right.
I didn't expect it out of those three guys. So we was out partying. And I was like thinking, oh, I had a good time, you know, nobody, no fights, you know, no arguing, you know, it was some very, you know, respectful gentlemen. Terry, in a hamburger stand, ordering his food. Everybody got their food. Told the guy, I don't want mayonnaise on my burger. He said, here, no mayonnaise on it. Gave it back to the guy. The guy did it again. He gave it to him again. Looked at it. It's mayonnaise on the thing, man. I don't want no mayonnaise. All right, he went back outside and waited about 20 more minutes. Came back in there again. The guy opened it.
Terry was telling the
Terry was telling the cook that.
Don't.
So the cook put mayonnaise on it again. So I was sitting in the back.
time.
Yeah, the third time. I was sitting in the back like I'm sitting now. And I remember I was talking to somebody, a female in front of me, and Terry, I heard a window break, and Terry come running past. Where you going? We just, boom,
Bro,
just
booked
gone.
it.
And I said, what the I said, this nigga broke the window. And I looked around, I heard a noise behind me. And the girl was in front of me. All she did was just dropped her shit and she took off.
She didn't even tell you.
She didn't
that.
tell me shit. She just took off. And I was like, damn. And I got this cold feeling over me. And I looked back just enough to look at the door, and there was a hole in it, the doorknob hole. And this big old black rusty thing sticking through it. Then I realized it was a gun because I seen the choke on it. And I was like, saying to myself, I was like, damn, don't pull the trigger, don't pull the trigger. That's all I kept saying.
Right. Fuck.
And next thing I know, my body froze. And if he would have hit me where I was at, I'd be in half. Somehow my body said, it leaned.
And then he shot.
Boom, it went off. And it hit me right here.
So half.
But if I would have stayed right here, it would hit me dead in the middle of my spine. And I don't know what made me move or how I moved, because I was so...
you had seen her run.
Yeah.
So your ass was like, oh,
I was
let
so
me-
in peril.
Right.
I couldn't even do nothing but just keep thinking, telling God, you know, please don't pull the trigger. Please don't pull the trigger. That's all I kept saying to myself. And then when it went off,
So it kind of sounds like it was almost a setup type of thing. She just, I mean,
no, it
No,
was the guy inside got mad because I found out later Terry took the hamburger, threw it, hit him in the face with it, tore up all the donuts inside the place, then broke the window, and then he ran past.
So he was kind of
So the guy in the back, him being, I really found out from my brothers, because he was kind of slow. You know, he was well back then. We called him retarded.
right.
You know, straight up, everybody talking about he's mentally challenged. No, we come over with retarded. If you're retarded, you can still go to work.
that's the medical term, technically.
You know,
Mental retardation.
Yeah,
Yes.
all this education. You know, he's mental. No, mommy, he think retarded. He's retarded. He's still doing his job, so don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
But this nigga, he was mentally challenged. He didn't know I was back there. He was trying to scare Terry.
Oh, so he thought you were Terry?
No, he was trying to scare Terry. Ran past me.
Oh,
So he figured if he ran past him, he could shoot the gun through the hole, and nobody was back there, and he can
That's
scare him because he thought he ran around the back.
interesting.
But I'm sitting there going, it happened. It happened.
And you felt a burn. You couldn't get up at that point.
I tried to get up. My legs spent around.
What the fuck? So
All
your
right.
leg, your hip, your backside,
Like
like
gave out type of thing.
Yeah, everything on this side just went dead.
fuck.
And then when I was told I'd never walk again,
They told you that?
yeah, I was laying after came out of, they say about 10-hour surgery.
You're
said
17,
I never walked
18
again.
years
Well, I
old.
This
heard
is
of-
1977 type of thing.
Yeah, I heard my father talking to the doctor, and he said, your son will never walk again. And right then and there,
You told yourself, fuck that.
I'm not gonna be in a wheelchair. And to this day, I'm walking now. I'm having problems now. My leg is feeling, it's numb. I feel it, I see it there, but I don't feel it, you know. And I'd be like, oh, it's starting to act up, you know, whatever, blah, 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 but that's going with age. But I was told I'd never walk. When I heard that, the next week, I grabbed my IV bottle, I got out of bed, and I walked in the hallway. And ever since then, I've been walking since then.
That's amazing.
With a lot of difficult problems that's going on. See,
Right.
y'all know me, but y'all don't know half the crap that I put my body through when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
I try to tell people, take care of your body. Because when you get older, you're going to need it.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Because if you don't take care of your body and your health now, by the time you get to a certain age, it depends on who you are and how you are, your body going to give you the much as hell as you gave it.
Yeah, there's one thing I saw recently. They're saying that the newer generations are not going to live as long as their parents and whatnot, and it's a lot on how the lifestyle is and what we eat and all that stuff. Like a big thing is that, I mean, for the younger people listening too, it's like calcium deposits is a big thing. So once you stop depositing calcium into your bones, it's like that's it. So after that, you basically have to maintain that and whatnot. That's one of the biggest things.
Yeah.
When
How long was
your bones not deteriorating on you? And stuff like
how
that.
long was your road to recovery after the initial incident of you being shot? Do you remember?
Well,
So you felt like I'm walking back, at least not normal, but you looked like you
I
could-
wouldn't 100% nowhere in life because
after that point.
after the surgery, they took so much out of me. It made me first want to give up for one thing.
When you say a lot out of you, was it like was
My
it
intestines.
intestines?
you know,
okay.
you lost intestines.
They took out, but I can't say what they took out, but they left this much in there. So that's not enough for me to digest, you know, because
And
back in the
keep-
day, I had the weight I wanted, the size I wanted, and I loved it, you know. And now I can't pick up no weight because my digestive system, it keeps everything constantly going. You know, I'm not saying I'm crapping on myself and all that shit. It's just my metabolism along with that.
It's fast.
I burns it off so fast.
Yeah.
You know, and I just ain't picking up no weight, you know, especially with my grandkids, I'm burning more. And then I'm not eating like I should.
That's your workout right now. Picking up
Yeah.
your grandkids.
Yeah, and I'm not eating like I should, you know. So, like I said, take care of your body because after a minute, it's going to get you.
Definitely.
And what do you have after that? You have nothing but pain, more aggravation, you're mad. That's how I found out by myself. Why you always mad? Because I done You know, I tell you about being mad. You're not mad at the people around you. You're mad at yourself.
Right.
Something's wrong. Yeah.
But your action is showing everybody else what you are doing. In your mind, you like, ain't got nothing to do with you, ain't got nothing to do with you. But in your body is like, I don't give a fuck about you, I don't give a fuck about you, I don't give a fuck about you. You know, you see, and your mind is not catching that. And once you ain't catching what your body is throwing out, that's why I've been dealing with this thing called a blueprint. It's with the body. And if you can't heal your own body by yourself, I mean, you don't need a doctor to heal yourself, but on certain things, you know, certain things you need a doctor for, but certain things to do with your mentality, yourself, or your mind, you know, you can make your blueprint better, or you can make it worse.
Definitely.
Make it worse than me. I don't give a shit. Whatever I drink, whatever I eat.
Yeah.
And that's going to affect every other cell in your body. And then you're going to be having to not care attitude. Then you're going to be having to not give a fuck attitude because your body's not getting what it needs.
Definitely.
And then you walking around wondering why you feel that way. And then you fix your problem. It's you.
So back at that time, would you say were you already kind of on a better diet, or was that something you also had to adjust as?
Nah, I don't care. I eat whatever I want to eat. I don't care what it is.
Okay.
If I want to eat, I'm a very picky eater. If I not cooking my own food,
Like someone I know. Just kidding.
I know that's what my daughters tell me. I'm just like him, but he's just like me because
Right.
whatever it's got to be something that I like.
Yeah. I feel you.
And
But you're a phenomenal cook. Like,
I'm
where'd
not-
you,
yeah,
where'd you
excuse
learn
me.
how to cook like that?
we was talking about how you took classes when you were
I
doing
learned.
earlier.
I took classes and then
baking, all that stuff.
watched my
Nah,
mother-
but that was at school.
Yeah, I
Those are
watched
fundamentals, though, right?
Did you?
My
do-
mother was a Cajun Creole person who cooked, and she cooked
Oh yeah, 'cause she was from Louisiana, right?
Louisiana. I mean,
Oh,
on
man.
New Year's
Nah, me
Day.
and him talking about trying to start a new life soul business, so
Yeah.
we can start some.
It was
some
so
soul
funny.
food.
I used to see a big old hog head in the pot. And I used to wonder, what is this thing with eyes in a pot looking at me? That's hog head cheese. I'm finna make some hog head cheese. So all that junk that they eat there, chitlins and all that stuff, I know how to cook it. I don't like it. You know,
Yeah.
my mother used to watch what I do. I got recipes from her to this day that if I put it out there, I know it's gonna blend. Because when she taught me about how to cook and I put my heart to it, I wish back then I would have found myself earlier. Because like I tell anybody who I talk with today, I would be an Iron Chef. Because no one didn't tell me, man, you got talent, you can cook. I would just push to the side, oh, that was, whatever. Until one day I was in San Luis Obispo and I prepared a meal for 200 people by myself. And I didn't know that. And I was like, I went out there, I was like, I cook for all these people? And they were like, yeah, by yourself. And I realized I can cook. But to me, it was too late. I mean, not too late, but I just said, fuck it. I didn't want to go through the hassle. I learned whatever I want to learn. All I had to do was take a civil service test. And like I said, your body. I ate something out there. That's what made me really don't touch nobody food. I ate some stew. I seen with something floating in it, but I didn't pay it attention. I ate anyway.
right.
I had to go back into surgery again. My intestine gave me food poisoning. So I lost a good job. I lost more of my intestines, and I'm stuck back in LA.
So you had multiple surgeries after the initial surgery.
Yeah, after the initial one, I had to go back in because I got food poisoning when I was up in the mountains fighting a fire. He was eating a lunch, and I ate something.
And you had to go to the fire camp after you had encountered a lot of you in the law. You was
Yeah.
getting in trouble with the law at that time too.
Compton was another crazy place.
So you just got into shit your whole
it was
your whole
one
teenage
thing
year.
or another.
You was,
It's one
you was a
thing-
nut.
Yeah, it was one thing to get attention. When I was growing up, after I seen the judge for like 4 times, he looked at me and said, "Mr. Smith, I don't want to see you in my court. I was a juvenile. I don't want to see you in my courtroom no more."
Right.
So I'm taking him as a joke. I didn't know I was gonna go to jail again that next day. I didn't know that. I was cool. I was coming home.
Bad. I'm gonna stay clean.
Coming home from attenuation school, we get out at 12 o'clock. I just bought this shirt. It was glitter gold and white. It had Smoke the Best Smoke Colombian and glitter. And I thought I was cool. I'm walking home and shit. Police passed me by. Then I heard her, "Arr!" They backing up. And I just looked at him and like, what's wrong? What did I do? He said, get against the car. I said, for what? And I knew the judge don't want to see my face no more. That's what I was thinking.
Damn.
Man, I can't afford to go to jail again. I said, I ain't did nothing. Get in the car. This is when I let my homies go. I got in the car. They drove me down the street. My 3 homies broke in somebody's house. They was in the backseat of one police car. The police was telling them, was he with you? Didn't none of them say shit. They just turned their head. And I was like, oh, tell them, man, I wasn't with y'all. Whoa. You know, no. And the house they broke into was my brother's girlfriend's house.
Oh shit.
So why should I break in my own, you know,
Brother's
girlfriend house?
The fuck what?
I'm at school, so they didn't say nothing. I went to jail. The judge looked at me. 5 years
5 years
in juvenile camp. That was back in the day, Camp Gonzalez, Camp Rocky, you know, Camp Mendenhall.
Where's this at?
This is up in the mountains. I was, you know, I don't know where I was at. All I was
He was on a bus on his way to
all I know,
nowhere.
I had to adapt to.
You did 5 years there for real?
I did 3.
Nah, he lying.
No, I did 3. I did 3 in a fire camp.
Okay.
Back in the day, if y'all remember, I don't know if y'all remember, y'all probably weren't even born. It was a very bad flood in San Francisco.
No, I don't remember
From
that.
Oakland to San Francisco, it was raining, it was fire. So I was on flood control looking for dead bodies.
What?
I have a picture right now at the house.
You're a first responder type of
Yeah,
thing?
I was like California Conservation Corps. And at that time we was looking for bodies or people in the mud because it was a big, very bad mudslide.
Oh,
And it was, and houses was covered and we had to make, you know, sand blocks and stuff. So I'm taking my stick going through this water up to here on me. Hitting the
You
ground.
can feel a body.
Feel
and shit.
anything. So I found the body. And I was in
crazy.
San Francisco.
You found bodies?
Finding a body.
What year was this?
I was about 17 about that time in the California Corps.
was it before? Oh, it was before you.
Yeah.
You got shot. and all
Before I
that?
got shot and everything, that I came back out. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So
Damn,
other
so
than
you
that,
should have some fucking wild shit.
It's interesting, man, because you mean you're born in 1960, and then like my parents' perspective is from El Salvador. So, like for example, you went through a lot of historical events in the 60s. For example, I mean, you're 5 years old when the Watts riots happened. So
oh yeah.
I don't
You know why I
don't
remember that?
How?
My grandmother lived on Century and Central.
What the fuck?
And that time, it was smoky black. My father had a 56 Chevrolet, 2-door. The word was, don't say burn, baby, burn. My father, being who he was, muscle man, stand about 7, you know, we driving by, he sticks to the National Guards and says, burn, baby, burn. I'm sitting in the back. They snatched him out of the car,
Oh shit.
beat his ass.
Oh fuck.
I'm in the back seat crying. How I'm going to get home? My father's getting drug off. All I see is black smoke. And I remember Real Rogers Park. And my grandmother lived around this corner on Real Rogers Park. So I got out the car and I remember Jack in the Box on the corner of Central and Century. Because that's one thing I tell my grandkids today, wherever you at, look where you at.
Yeah.
Pay attention to where you at, and you know how to get from there. So I remember at that age, I was like, that riot was the craziest thing over stuff that they still can't tell you why, you know? And
I mean, people were fed up about what shit was.
or if you, I know y'all seen some of the videos. Some of the videos on my mom, right on the corner, I seen where my father was jacked up against that car. And I was saying to myself, I think that's my father's car. I think I was in that car right there, this old, great, beat up 64 Chevy.
So if you look at the documentaries, you be like, "What the
I'll be
fuck?" I
seeing
remember
things
that shit.
from that riot.
I'm gonna
That,
go see some shit because there's a documentary on Max or Paramount, one of the two, where they talking about that riot from the 60s Watts. That's crazy. You lived through that. You even lived through the assassination of John F. Kennedy,
Martin
Luther King.
Well, John F. Kennedy was the year you were born, and then
John F. Kennedy was 64. He had
Oh yeah, 63. Right, 63.
because he was president.
But you must have remembered MLK and RFK.
Yeah, because my mother had a
RFK
bust.
was here in LA too when he got killed here.
in
My mother had a
Pasadena.
bust of his head. Always
who?
kept of
MLK?
Yeah,
Sick,
always
sick.
had a bust of him. It was brown. She had it for years. It was his face, you know, and she kept it by that chair. And to her, that was the best president we ever had in our life. So she schooled me on
Oh, JFK.
Yeah, putting that picture in my face that he
Nah, I think so,
was
too.
the best president in that time, you know. And like I tell I seen a lot of presidents, Ford, you know, and all of them come through the world. Nixon, Watergate. When Watergate hit, it was crazy back then. You know, it was like scandalous then. But today's shit is not.
But
really,
what'd you think about when Bill Clinton did with Bill?
what Bill Clinton did was what any man would do. I'm sorry, what any man would
That's
do.
some real ass shit, Curtis.
But the other shit, he's fucking the world up. No, he wasn't here to fuck up the world. He want blowjob because his woman don't give him one.
Exactly.
Yeah, Hillary was
progressive.
Hillary was a Nancy Reagan.
Progressive
Hillary
women don't
should be
give
shot
head.
because she should know that's what a nigga want.
Right.
You
Exactly,
know,
'cause
Any
something
man,
that want.
no matter white, black,
Yeah.
Asian,
You know,
Latino, man.
Greet me, feel me good. You know.
Straight up. Yeah, you know it's crazy, but yeah, you lived through all those things. So,
That's crazy.
tell us how was it when for example, I mean, was it a big deal out here when MLK
It
got
was a big
assassinated?
deal, but you know one thing that I can think of just
Malcolm
for myself.
X too?
Yeah, for myself, it's nothing that I could have profited off of, nothing that was gonna help me. So basically, I was in that mode. I didn't give a fuck what was going on in this world.
Oh, I got you for
You
sure,
know,
for sure.
Until this day, I feel the same way. You know, I feel like, why should I worry about what's going on in this world? And I seen what's going on in this world back then. It hasn't changed yet. So my mind has still been telling on, you know,
Fuck it.
every night if I go to bed, I say, God bless the world.
Definitely.
It's fucked up.
Right.
You know, and nobody can tell me that it is.
Yeah.
You can walk around there all day long saying stimulus check helps, this help and shit, but they closing up shit. 99 cent stores.
What about this
People's
one?
out of jobs.
What about this one?
What they gonna do?
Before Northridge earthquake, did you live through any type of earthquake in California that was similar
Oh, the
to
big
that?
one?
Before that
I was
one?
in the big one.
That was the biggest?
That was the biggest one I've been through. Not the one in Northridge, the one in LA in 19 motherfucking which hell, because it tore up half of everything in LA. Then
Oh,
we built
shit.
everything.
So there was
The first earthquake we ever had was the big one in LA. But this one in Northridge, I was living right here on Van Nuys when that one happened.
right there in Tyrone.
Yeah, right there. I mean, right here off Oxnard, because we was all in. No, I was on Lennox. That's right.
Oh, yeah,
on Lennox.
yeah.
I was on Lennox
On
Street
Lennox.
and Sherman Way by that way. And when that hit, it made everything just like change too. Because to me, it's nothing.
You had your kids already. You had my wife already and everything.
I already had my kids and everything, and it was like, I tell them, what you panicking for? It's nothing you can do.
Just
Stay
calm.
your ass in one spot.
Stay
I'm
calm.
gonna run to the door. You gonna get fucked up?
You remember telling them not to run?
I said, you gonna get fucked up. I said, best do is stay in one spot
Right.
until it stopped. I said, when something always coming down, you look for it to come either your way or the opposite. You don't run because you don't know where it's gonna go.
Right.
Wait, I learned that from watching Volcano. You know, from my homegirl, Michael Lee Jones, Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones,
When he
right.
was running, the girl said, you don't run. You wait for it to come down. Then you see where it's going.
Right.
Then you go.
Right.
But if you just run out into it,
Yeah, because
you're going to get hit.
You have a split second, and once you start seeing shit shake, you're like, oh shit, like.
And every time to this day, if you just had a little small one, I was like, what you going to do?
Was it in the 70s?
70, somewhere 70, between 79 to 60, somewhere up in there. You know, early part of the 70s. I believe it's the early part of 70s because I don't think Northridge was the first one.
You remember a big ass one back then?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, look at that, but I'll find that. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Hey,
on
Siri.
there.
What was the first earthquake in Los Angeles was the biggest on the Richter scale?
I found this on the web.
And you always finding something. You ain't telling me shit.
Yeah. I was trying to find it myself. And I was like,
That's crazy.
I know there was
but
one in
you
San
also
Francisco
remember,
back then that was like.
You also remember
San Francisco one was crazy.
the like the what was it, the fucking North Hollywood Robert, the when they started
Yeah, right
shooting
there
that
at the bank,
fucking- yeah, the
on the
bank,
corner.
yeah, that shootout. Remember that shit?
Oh, the one close to my pad, huh?
The funny part about it, my wife banked there at that bank.
She used to go there.
She used to go to that bank.
Cause y'all were already on Oxnard.
Yeah, and my daughter worked at that what was that, Food for Less? It wasn't food, it was something, that red and white store. Not
Smart
a
and
Target.
Final?
Yeah, Smart and Final. She worked at that for Smart and Final. And that day, I was gonna take them to work and go to the bank. Newsflash. We watched it all. It was happening right in broad daylight and stuff. You know, the shooting. But I'm at home going, I'm glad we didn't go there early.
Right. Fuck. I remember when there was the one in Van Nuys and we were on the news. Me and my sister. I don't think you were born. You were born already.
The bank robbery?
Yeah, the bank
I was
robbery
young as
right
fuck,
there.
though.
Yeah, that's when it was getting out of control then. But right now, my urge to
What's your advice to the youth?
is quit blaming people for their own mistakes.
Straight up.
Be self-motivated and don't care who don't like it.
Be self-motivated.
Yeah. Respect your parents because you only got one. And when you ain't got none, you think you ain't gonna feel it. Because I know I know what I hear, know what I see. When you ain't got it, that's when you're gonna feel it. But you can talk about your parents from daylight to daylight and stuff, you know, on that subject. You know, that's why I asked you about your father, you know, when it happened to him. Is he all right? You know, everything cool and stuff? Because I never got a chance to apologize to my father for kicking his ass, you know. And that was for a disrespect reason for my livelihood, you know, and that was a choice. God said, you have no other choice but to do that, to gain your respect,
Right.
you know. But other than that, I never had time to
Rectify
tell
that.
him I loved him or nothing, you know. Last time I seen him, we was talking, but I looked at him and I could tell something was wrong. And I was like pure alcoholic drinking then. I didn't really care because I had what I wanted. I was drunk all the time. And I really didn't, I cared, but I didn't care about the situation because of the surroundings I was in. And the funny part about it, when he passed, I was way out here in Van Nuys and he was in LA. And to this day, I felt it.
Before it happened. Before you found out.
I felt it when it was happening. And then when I talked to my sister 2 years later, she told me the exact date and the same time. But before she can tell me the same date and the same time, I told her it was October the 10th on my birthday, 2005. She said, yeah, I felt it.
That's
And I
crazy.
couldn't get to him. And they said the whole time he was
Agonizing.
asking where I was at.
So he,
My brother even said he suffered. He suffered the whole time, asking where I was at. And that's why I tell people, don't never say who don't give a fuck about you, who don't care, because you never know who care or who don't give a fuck until they tell you or they show you. But walking around saying who don't care, you really know who loves you when you're dead. But that's fucked up how to feel that and find that out in life.
right.
To feel who cares for you when they're not here.
What about when you were on that gurney in the hospital? Did you realize who cared about you in that time? Like out of your homies and all that at that age, or were you too young to like?
Only one came to me was the three homies I grew up with, true dogs. And it's not gayish. If you have someone sing to you a song that makes you feel like you're never gonna be alone, that's how I feel with him. To me, he raised me as who I am.
Right.
And he told me he'll never abandon me, he'll never this. And one night I was walking, I said, Steve, I need $400. I said, I don't know how I'm gonna get it. And I walked in Skechers and came on fine, $400, sitting on the ground.
Stevie was no longer here with us.
No, he wasn't even here. I just was getting out the car. I was like, damn, I need $400, Steve.
You thinking about your boy?
Yeah, I think my boy, and I was just talking to him. I was like,
That's
damn,
crazy.
Steve, I need $400. And I was joking. And I went in to go buy my wife some Skechers. Came out, $400 sitting right there. You know, I was like, damn. And it was so funny because I was like, I was spending money, didn't have it, but didn't give a fuck about it. But it came right back to me just that quick. And my daughter said, damn, yeah. I said, remember I was just saying that in the car? She was like, yeah, because we was in the car driving. I was like, damn, I wish I had some money. I'd take all y'all to breakfast and lunch, whatever and shit. Get out the car. This is the second time I found $500. You know, I was like, what you want, Gookie? Talking to my grandson. I want this. I said, if I had the money, I'd give it to you. And I said, it'll come to me. It'll come to me. And I said, peace out. And next thing I know, I had it. And I tell everybody right now, man, yes, you can worry about money. It's material. I feel I came in this fucker broke. I'm gonna go broke.
Straight up.
Who all knows? Who do you know? Rich, powerful, Rockefeller, whatever, took that shit back with them. The Egypt's tried. They dug that shit back up.
Right.
Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah.
You ain't taking it with you.
Yeah.
So I feel, you know,
You got angels watching over you that got your back.
I feel so good about the recognition I'm getting from the angel. Because at first, you brothers, all y'all here, we all get messages. It's how you figure it, find
Yeah,
it.
you take them. You know.
It's right there.
Yeah, it's
If
funny.
you don't see your message, it's a blink and it's gone. But if you see it and you act on it, that's God's blessing right there. All my life, I've been overlooking these blessings, overlooking it. I see something, I overlook it.
Yeah.
The only message I didn't overlook when I got shot, I said, if you let me live now,
That was a wake up call.
I will do the best I can, no matter what. Broke, rich. I said, I will do whatever I can when I can, no matter what. So I'm just going by what he told me. He got a path. I'm trying to teach young brothers today and stuff is only person in life to be true to is yourself. Because the only person who can make things happen is yourself.
Definitely.
So if you sitting here saying you love something or you love somebody and it's not coming from the heart, it's meaningless because you ain't coming from the heart with it. So why say you love something or you want something or you care for something, but you're not showing how much you care and love it?
Yeah. They say actions speak louder than
Yeah,
words. You know,
if you
straight
care about, like me, I'm a good example. Right now, I should have been. I had a dream. I'm on my own restaurant. After a life in this world, it's backslide you to another dimension that you really don't want to be in because you couldn't get to that point.
It's like the decisions part you were talking about.
Everything
too.
changes. Kids changes everything. You know, it's what I say. People I want to get married. I want to have kids. Have kids when you're ready.
Straight up.
Don't have kids when you want them because everybody else got them.
Straight up.
Because you are not everybody else. You can't do what everybody do. You can't. Some people can change a diaper. Some people can do these things. It ain't mean you're dumb. You just don't. It's not in you.
It's not at the moment, like you said.
Yeah. Till you learn.
Yep.
And once you learn that process, it's a good thing because through my kids all their life growing up, everything I can remember, they go to school. I'm ironing their clothes. I'm washing their hair. They dressed. They going to school creased up.
Yeah.
You know, I put him to a spot, and my son, I put him to a spot. When he go to school, it wasn't to get that. It was a point where when a person see you looking good, you present yourself, they'll be not to bother you because they know you're looking good. Mm-hmm. If they bother you, they violating. Because if you're sitting there with your shoes clean and niggas step on your feet, that's disrespect.
Straight up.
So I tell my son, you know, I crease up your clothes, baby crease them up and stuff. And for years, all my kids, teachers, everything at school, your kids' clothes is always ironed. I said, I do it every night. I said, I don't care. I iron their clothes. I wash them, iron them every night. I don't care. They gonna go to school with creases. They gonna go to school clean. They gonna go to school with their shit ironed. I ain't no lazy dad. Because I iron everything. I iron my underwear. I iron everything.
I need.
And that's what jail teach you. Jail teach you to iron your shit, take care of your shit. People think jail's a bad thing. You know, I learned more good shit in jail when I learned on the streets.
Damn.
I
feel like
That's changed too, I would say.
But I feel like some people need that structure of jail because in jail, there's a structure to it. You can't just do whatever the fuck you want to do in jail.
No,
you know?
because you got to go by rules, and some people don't like rules. Some people don't want to understand rules. Rules is here for a reason, either to make things the way it should be or to make things worse. If you don't go by the rules, it's gonna be worse because you're gonna fuck up everything else. But if everything going flow, that's why after I got my shit together, every McDonald's I ran, when I ran Boston Market for 4 years, I had a crew.
That's when my wife gets her
I respected my crew.
managerial.
They respected me. I walked in that door one time and seen a F in the window. I said, I bet you in 2 weeks it's gonna be an A in that window. I'm here now. I took care of Boston Market so much. I was like I had plaques. I got plaques. I got all kinds of shit in Boston Market because I was there Monday through Saturday. Sunday's my day off. Don't fuck with me on Sundays. That's all I tell them. I'll come there and do your job and take care of your money and make sure everything is clean. I don't steal, whatever. You can trust this nigga until I feel you disrespecting me. Other than that, it's all about respect and caring for one another. If I didn't care about you, you wouldn't want to work for me.
Without a doubt.
I got to my wife, if you got a job and said, but you don't respect that person ain't gonna like you. They ain't gonna care about you. So why try to make it happen? Do your job. Don't try to be friends. Work on your goal. They ain't paying you. Why argue with somebody gonna get you in more deep trouble and then you already in your life?
Yeah.
You know? And these kids now, I'm just so stuck on the word disrespect. Yeah. Because if you had respect, it wouldn't be the way it is now.
Yeah,
I cannot like you, but I won't disrespect you because I don't like you. That'll make it more worse than me doing anything toward you. Because if I don't like you, that means I ain't got nothing to say to you. But by me saying something wrong, I'm disrespecting you because of what I feel.
Yeah,
I feel I don't like you. I'm not going to say nothing to make you dislike me more, or we go back to head game talking.
Yeah.
So the best way to do it, go your way, I go my way. One day we'll bump heads again. It might not be that way.
Yeah.
Everybody's not going to see eye to eye on everything in life. You know, the people who I met in life, they taught me and shit, it's always two sides to one story. And if you listen to a person and come back and tell me, that means you were just as much enjoying it much as him telling you. I had plenty of people come tell me, hey man, let me tell you what homeboy said. Don't tell me shit. I don't want to even know you telling me what he say, she say.
Right.
You tell he to come to me, then I will say what she want to hear. Other than that, I don't want to come to you to come out what he say and listen to you tell me what. Don't tell me shit. And if you ain't my homie, you gonna get mad at me because I don't want to hear that shit. Go tell him. Tell the person who the rumor's about. I'm not gonna deliver a message probably half backwards and shit, and then my homie come to me and say, well, why you listen to it? You should have backed me up. Nigga, I did back him. I don't want to hear that shit. So if whatever he told you, I don't know. So get out my face, you know?
Right.
Other than that, you said something that I go tell you. I know and you know. So why didn't I let you go tell you that? But if you tell me that I go tell you, oh, your brother said, you know, fuck blah, 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 blah. And then you said, well, that ain't what he said.
Right.
Because it changes from one person to another.
Yeah.
And I ain't seen that scenario a lot. We can sit here in the room with 10 people and say one thing. About the time we get to that 10th person, it's gonna be different.
Yeah, they make a whole game out of it.
Yeah, it's gonna be different.
Telephone game.
Yeah, it's so funny about that stuff, and I'll be like, no, because his work gonna be different from yours. You want to hear it? Come to the horse.
Right.
You know, I'll tell you. That's why I used to tell you and shit. I do not give a shit about nothing if it's about me. If you think that, you don't know me. If you want to know me, come tell me. Ask me. Ask me. Because I don't like to be told what such and such said this. Fuck for such and such said. You want to believe it, you believe it. But you want to know the truth, come ask me. Then if you don't want to believe it, you have that right to don't believe it because I
That's
told
kind
you
of like
myself.
even kind of like what's going on with Diddy right now. There was so many things, allegations and shit being
know
said
what?
about him. And then there's if you go in the comments after he apologized recently, some people are like, oh, you know, we don't know everything. There's so many sides to the story and all
They
this
full of
shit.
shit.
But you seen the video,
They
right?
full of
Like
shit.
that shit is like, damn, bro. You know,
The reason why it's full of shit because people think today not being involved makes them cool and clear. Not saying what you're not going to say, you know something. But if you sit there, like I'm looking at it, I ain't got nothing to say. I don't give a- That's his problem. I'm not sitting there going, oh yeah, I was there and I just ain't got nothing to say.
They should have said something a long time
Yeah,
ago.
if you was there and now you ain't got nothing to say, they know you got something to say because you was there.
Right.
Like Jamie Foxx gonna say, there's a lot of strange shit going on. You know what's going on. Shut up.
Fucking
Only
Jamie
person saying
Foxx.
it's real is Kevin. I mean,
Cat Williams.
Cat Williams, he's the only one real about it.
Right.
And sometimes you can't think that if it's real with him or not because,
He joking a lot.
yeah, he jokes too much. I'll be like, does that nigga really say that? Is Steve Harvey, is all these people all about that shit? Now, I'm confused in this world as anybody else because I knew these guys growing up. Now I'm hearing this shit about all of them. I'm sitting there going, Bill Cosby grew up with that fool. And I'm sitting going, he used to be the dog back in the day, and this nigga was doing all that shit. But thank you, nigga. We worse than Tiger. Shit, at least you knock him out first. Shit, you know. But other than
Knock
that,
him out. I mean, yeah, that's what he was doing. He was
I
putting
know,
them to
that's
sleep
what
and
I'm
then
saying,
raping
it's
them, basically.
putting them to sleep and rocking their world.
Shit.
And I asked the woman that, how can y'all be sleeping no nobody fucking you? And I asked my wife, I asked him, how can y'all don't know a person doing that when you're laying there?
Right.
I said, because if a nigga hitting that shit, he gonna wake you up.
Right.
Unless you play asleep. I said, yeah, you play sleep. But I said, if you're really knocked out, how in the hell you know if someone gets something to you? Especially if you say you've been raped.
It's crazy because even like Rick Ross got accused of that. He like put something in her cup and you didn't even know it. And then he was like, damn, I didn't mean to say that. He lost Reebok out of that.
Yeah. A lot of people, they look up to things you say and it's all in your whatever you're doing is making things worse on you. Cussing, teaching kids today to say F their mama, suck my D.I.D., whatever and shit. Old school people is cleaning they wrap up, if y'all see that.
Oh, yeah.
They cleaning it up, but they still keeping that gangster shit in there.
Right.
Now, every rap you see with Snoop Dogg and all them, they got the gangster in it, but you don't hear about the hoes that much. You don't hear about the fucking. You don't hear about the groupies because they're old school. They know what the people want to hear other than, I mean, I'm sorry, I don't want to hear all this, shit about my car and
What do you
my
think about these
bling.
females rapping now, like the Sexy Reds of the world and shit?
Oh,
Like,
some of them is ratchet, but but some of them is straight up. If it's the way it is, it's the truth.
right.
Like I tell a person, don't never speak on something you don't have no experience in. Don't never speak on nothing that you don't know nothing about.
Right.
These women these days, they speak on shit because they know what's out there and they did it. If you did it, you can talk about it.
Facts. That is true.
Now, if you didn't do it,
What the
you
fuck?
can't talk about
Right.
it. That's why the OGs say, fuck those studio gangsters. Because if you ain't been out there dodging those bullets, if you ain't been out there letting that gun point in your face and you going, go ahead, nigga, take your shot.
Right.
I've been in that position. I'm eating a hamburger and I'm sitting down. My worst enemy pulls up, points a gun at me. All I did was set my hamburger down and say, go ahead. But my worst thing is I ran back to the hood
And told them.
and told the homies what just had happened.
And then they when the smoke was on.
Hell broke out.
Fuck.
And to this day, I wish like I never should have said nothing. It's a lot of things I regret. Like
he could have
saying,
blown your brains out, but they still would have retaliated. But the fact that he didn't do nothing, he kept it pushing,
Yeah.
and then you still went and said something, and they
Yeah.
went and fucking blew them out.
But see, and that's why I be telling you, I got people calling me last month, asking me dumb questions and shit. Is anybody fucking with you? How it is out there. I say it's living, nigga. I'm out here living. I'm not out here for what you want, we bored. I say, but look here, I'm gonna come out there. Y'all gotta get a life because all this you bored because
That's crazy.
you want to get involved in something, hasty and something violent. I keep telling my nephews and them,
You gonna throw your life away?
find something that you love to do and turn it into money. I don't care if you braid hair, nigga. I know a lot of niggas. You got 8, 10 bitches in there, $500 a head just to braid their hair, and you love it. You better get that money. Fuck what he gonna say. Oh, you faggot, niggas. Yeah, my faggot got motherfucking ass $2,000 in it right now. I only get 2 people. So
Right.
what you got in your pocket?
Yeah.
So they gonna hate on you
Regardless.
just to stop your cabbage from coming in.
Straight up.
And when they stop that, they gonna be your friend. They're your friend because they see you ain't prospering nothing. You ain't getting nothing.
Busy loves company.
That's that crab in a
Oh, shit.
barrel. That's that crab in a barrel
That is
mentality.
the word that people should put on a wall somewhere. They love company,
Busy loves company.
Yeah. And that is one statement person don't understand. When you're miserable, some people can tell it a mile away. I'm old school and I go by feeling of your feelings. I go by feelings of the heat from your body.
You can feel the
I
vibration.
can feel any kind of anxiety that I'm glad I'm blessed with on a person that I have a choice. And that's what God was telling me. You have choices now. You can do 2 things. You can walk away, or you can stand there and deal with it. But your main question is it worth it? So when I start thinking, is it worth it? And the first thought, nah. It ain't worth it. It's not worth my time no more. You know, I thought I have time, but to me, like I told Enzo, to me, I seen more depth than I seen anything proffered. I've been to so many barbarians, I don't know who gonna carry me, but my family that's immediately around me. And that'd probably be you.
Right.
Probably be you. You never know. Because we are family. But
Right,
other than
yeah,
that,
yeah.
the people who I grew up with, half of them still kicking it, and half of them is pushing up daisies. Like I used to tell you back in the day, don't let, one thing you're gonna happen to you if you do anything disrespectful, our saying was, Reverend Knight gonna bless you and Harrison Ross gonna dress you. So you make your choice, which one you wanna do.
Straight up.
And
I haven't heard that one in a minute.
yeah, our reputation,
Precedes us.
I really wanna give a close shout out to my homie, Brian Harton, Lil B. He got taken too early out this game over friendship, you know, and nobody know about that. But it's hard to look back on something, you know, and wonder how a person's life would be.
If he was still alive.
Yeah, if he was still alive.
That's crazy.
Same thing with my brothers. My baby brother, I wonder,
Twin.
what would he be, right? What would he be doing now? You know, my twin brother, what you be doing now? What you gonna be doing? I can't speak on them no more, man. And people don't understand this shit. I stopped looking for that thing that people think they need, a pat on the back, or I'm sorry, or a hug. The hug I want, the hug I get, God sees that. And that's all I need for him to do is see what I'm doing to recognize, because I know anybody else gonna recognize it until it's time for them to recognize it.
Right.
But other than me sitting here waiting on that attention, man, I'll be sitting back going, I quit drinking cold turkey. I didn't have no DTs. I didn't go through no kind of problems in my life.
How long ago? You didn't get no DUIs or nothing like that?
Never had DUI, and I was the most craziest drinker that woke up and said, damn, how did I get here?
Fuck.
How many times can you wake up and say,
This was maintaining a job and shit.
yeah, how many times can you wake up in your life and say, how did I get here? How did I get to my job and I knew I was in Carson? How did I get from LA and I knew I was in Compton?
And your car's
The
not
last thing I
fucked up.
remember is getting behind the wheel. And that's it. And where I wake up at. And I'll be like, it's time to quit. I told God, look here. That was stupid. I could have hurt somebody. I could have killed somebody, killed myself. Because I don't know how I got here. And forget drinking. And that for my family, my kids.
Did you feel any type of like body withdrawals once you started with
No.
cold culture like that?
No.
Oh, you didn't feel shit.
No.
You just. Damn.
To this
God.
day, people can drink in front of me and shit. Only thing I don't like is the smell. The smell turns me off. I'll be like, but I don't say to them because that's their prerogative. And all I tell my kids is, you're going to learn. That shit stink.
Right.
I said, not only it stink, I said, rotting your insides up. Because when the doctor told me, nigga, you ain't got no more B cells, your B lining, and your stomach is gone, and that next thing is cirrhosis of the liver.
Oh, fuck.
My choice was, not because he said that, I wanted to live for my kids. I quit that shit. And
How
I
long
told
ago
you-
was that? How many years have you been sober?
right now, I'm 20 strong, probably 25 strong sober, you know.
You lost
I-
count already.
And I can no AA, no nothing, because
God.
I healed myself on what I don't want. If it's not gonna do nothing for you, why are you gonna do it? But like I said, I'm not a person to sit there and judgmental and shit. And I said that earlier, it wouldn't be because of the herb. I don't know where I'll be right now. The herb is the only thing that's keeping me in the place where
It's
my mind is
comfortable.
like happy on one side and it's angry on one side. And the angry part on this side is because of me.
Right.
The happy part is because of the weed saying forget about it.
Right.
But once I get the weed out of my system, I'm still back to the normal thing. I'm dealing with both factors. My balance is now today is the balance of my factors on get stable, try to get stable, quit wishing for shit. Because I tell my kids, you're wishing one hand and shit in the other. Which one gonna fill up?
Yeah.
And you tell me which one gonna fill up. Nigga, you shitting and you wishing. Whoop. Because whatever you wish for, you ain't gonna get. Until you go out and get it. That's why I get on my grandson. And ain't no gimme. You gotta earn it. Once you earn it, it's yours. You keep it.
How old is your grandson?
Huh?
You talking about your eldest grandson?
Talking about, I call him Gookie. Enzo. Little Enzo and KK.
Enzo is his oldest, right? No, Kaden.
KK is the oldest. Then the other one is
Curtis's son, right?
No, Curtis is my stepdaughter's daughter.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, she's about
12 now, 13?
12, 13.
Yeah.
I remember when she was a baby.
Kaden. Right, it's Kaden.
I said, it's just we go back so far with these kids. It's like I counteract with my son every night on Facebook. That's the only way me and him talk, laugh, giggle. I send him those little pictures, Mojo. We always going back and forth. He's saying the same thing I'm saying. I wish I was out there. Like, don't wish, because one day it's gonna happen. You know,
He want to move back to Cali?
he wanted to get out of Utah, but you know he's stable, and I put in his brain too and shit. Once you start something,
Yeah,
don't
finish
give
it.
up. You finish it.
I mean, that's some wise
finish it
advice
worse
you've
or better.
given me. You know, in closing, yeah, like what is some advice you would give like a married young man, a man that has a family, that sometimes wants to like? Because you said something earlier right now that really got me like, you're right. You shouldn't, as a man, you can't always look for that pat on the back or that hug that you're not gonna get. So
That's another thing you earn too. Like, I'm not saying I'm the best father, the best person, the best husband and shit. I've been on my woman for almost 45 years.
fuck.
And it wasn't no good battle. Ups and downs, bullshit, whatever we go through in life, but I never ran. I never abandoned my children. Only time I was away from my kids back in the day for about 22 days.
You had to sit down for a bit.
No, I went to jail.
Sit down for a bit.
That was as long as I ever was apart from my kids, other than hitting the streets on the weekend because I was an alcoholic. But on that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, nigga was at home taking care of his kids. I choose to be a home dad because I knew what my kids would expect, what they wanted in life. They didn't want to go eat that stupid food at the school. They knew I was going to do that for them. They knew that everything they wanted, I was going to do it for them. Iron their clothes, you know. So I wanted for me to be there for everything at this school. I was there. Every conference, every school, any school they went to, there. They always seen my face somewhere.
You had what, 5 kids? How many kids you got?
7 total. And claimly, I had a hood rat out there, said it's a son out there, is mine. But
Oh, so that's 8?
yeah, but I found out through the years to come, that's my homeboy. He hit it.
Oh, that's his
So
son.
they try to put it off on me because she was with me then. But see, I didn't play that role. I didn't say, yeah, he's mine. I was like, I'm investigating this shit.
Right.
You know? So
She was like,
one day I took my son.
he was like, she's just a girl
Yeah.
that claims that.
I took my son
But the key
when he was like 1 year old. I took him to the family doctor. We both got our mouths, you know, swiped and stuff. And found out he got the same blood I got, but found out he's not mine. And then Chucky, the person who is the kid, when I sweated him about it, I was like, you know, you can't tell me you didn't hit that when you was with her, because I know the woman who she is. You smoke a joint with her, her drawers is down. So he gonna tell me, all we did was smoke the joint and watch TV. I said, nigga, get out of here. And then 4 years later, we getting drunk when I was drinking.
Yeah, I hit it.
He admitted to it. You know, he hit it, but he don't know if it's his kid or not. But see, the whole thing about me being who I am, I never denied the boy. All I said was, it could be, because I was hitting it, but I know you did. So I'm not going to claim some that a 50-50 chance is mine or it's not and play daddy. And the kids I got, I know all those are mine.
Right.
I ain't got to play think on this. Fuck with my wife all the time. That kid ain't mine. It's somebody else's kid. You know, like,
Straight up.
nigga, you better shut your mouth. Man.
Every time I fuck with Lisa like that too, she be like, look at his fucking eyes, look at your eyes. I'll be like, fuck, you're right.
Yeah, you got me on that.
Right.
But, you know, other than that, today, I realize some marriage is not going to be hunky-dory. Some girl from the Brooklyn going to be hunky-dory. My knowledge on that shit is, I did them all. I met a girl in my life. I had a girlfriend. I dated. I got married. Neither one of those I was successful in. So I feel I need to be by myself, you know. But I'm with a person now, I'm not going to run from that to be by myself. If I can be to myself, give me my space. I don't give a shit, you know, just give me my space and I can take that and use it as how I want it.
Yeah.
But other than that, those things all gave me headaches, and because it's always somebody got to be the boss. You got to let the woman be the boss. Because if the woman's not the boss, your dick ain't getting shit. So
Preach.
And that's how we wrap the episode.
1960, man. This is OG right here.
you got to do it that way. That's the only way, though.
He said, "Happy wife, happy life."
And that's no joke.
Thanks, Curtis, for coming by and giving us some game. You know, some insight on life. Even that last gem was I didn't expect that one. For real.
But one more thing you can trip off, though. But what
Don't say that because that's your daughter, though.
One thing you got to do in life is you got to let a woman make her think she's in charge.
My dad
gonna
said
say that. I was gonna
shit,
say
man.
that.
My dad
I was gonna say that, but I was like, "That's some
You
game that I want
got
to burn
to,
myself out of."
because-
Somebody listen to this podcast.
That is so
If
true.
you don't let them think they in charge, they going to be all in your shit.
Facts.
They got nothing to do.
Right.